Here are some things I know. I am Spock, son of Sarek of Vulcan and Amanda of Earth. I am a scientist, a recipient of the highest awards and degrees conferred by the Vulcan Science Academy. I spent my early years beneath my parents' watchful gaze and the derisive stares of my young schoolmates who ridiculed my mixed heritage. At times, I reacted emotionally to their taunts, which served only to increase their scorn and provide support for their claim that I could never function as a true Vulcan. As a result, I have persevered throughout my life to achieve a logical thought process free from the contamination of emotion. This has caused my human mother some distress, but she understands, for she too has come to some accommodation on this issue. She has chosen to live among Vulcans, if not indeed to live as one. One might say she has found a way to live as they do, without trying to be one of them. I, on the other hand, take some pride in calling myself Vulcan. These things I know, and more. I left home and family, under troubled circumstance, to cast my lot as science officer among a polyglot collection of various species from various worlds, brought together as an organization known as Starfleet, beneath the auspices of the United Federation of Planets. Over a period of years of service aboard the Enterprise, first under Captain Pike, and subsequently under Captain Kirk, I have been involved in a number of challenging missions, one of which led to my death. I tell all this now as it has been told to me. Subsequent to my death, several of my fellow crew members risked their careers, and indeed their lives, to go to the Genesis planet, because they had reason to believe there was some hope of rescuing me. This, in fact, they did. It was a rash adventure on their part, utterly illogical and totally human. I am grateful. My friends returned my body to Vulcan, where the physical shell was reunited with its spiritual essence, its Katra, by means of an ancient Vulcan ritual. I have since come to remember, through much prodding and discussion and research, who these people are. I have also been absorbing vast amounts of scientific and historical data, so that I may usefully embark with my associates on another journey, to return to Earth to face trial for their actions in connection with my rescue. Having lost much of my experience memory, I have educated myself by rote. Yet for all the knowledge I have relearned, I realize there is much I do not yet know. There is an ancient adage that says, "He who does not know what he does not know is a fool to be shunned." My mother insists I will discover that I have feelings. Is this a willful projection from her human heart? She offers me love. Perhaps someday I will find a way to respond. But for now, it is time to depart with my friends. I board the Klingon bird of prey, the ship that will carry us to Earth. There is something of a dreamlike quality that pervades the atmosphere on this voyage, evocative of mirror images reflecting each other. It seems I have a doppelganger, a ghostly counterpart. "You'll come in through this door, Spock. Saavik has told Captain Kirk about the events surrounding his son's death. She'll wish you well on the voyage, and you'll respond with 'Live long and prosper, Lieutenant.' Then she'll leave. You'll have a brief exchange with Kirk. You'll apologize for misplacing your uniform. He'll tell you to take your station, and then you'll leave. Now, during the whole piece, you're vaguely disoriented, trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle." "Very well. And when shall I do this?" "You wait outside the door. I'll say action. When Kirk and Saavik have finished their lines, the door will open. You'll come in and begin." "Very well." The information I have received is evidently known as direction. It is clear, economical, to the point. Admiral Kirk, Saavik, and I perform our function 2, 3, even 4 times, although I'm mystified by the need for repetition, since I do precisely as instructed each time. Finally, the director says, "Good, now let's move on." I have seen him before. When my colleagues brought me to Vulcan for the Faltor Pan, the refusion ceremony, I was unconscious. But after the procedure, when I confronted Kirk and the others, he was there. I was dazed, scarcely aware of my surroundings, but I knew he was there. Nimoy, the director. Now, I am much more conscious of his presence. He is energetic, decisive, seemingly well prepared and qualified to do his work, and yet there is an urgency, a subtext, something unspoken that colors his activity. I sense there is something hidden here, something personal at stake, as there was with me when I prepared for the final plane. What is that, Spock? You mentioned it twice now. Once I began shooting Star Trek III. The final plane is a test, a summing up of talents acquired during a long period of diligent apprenticeship, an attempt as well at personal integration. So it's a Vulcan practice. Yes, but it possesses universal application. The phrase is applicable whenever there is a trial, a test of an individual's skills and total integration. There lies on Vulcan a stretch of flat, barren desert known as the Plain of Thought, which has come to symbolize ultimate accomplishment. At one end of the plain stands a millennia-old fragment of wall. At the other end, approximately one of your Earth kilometers away, rests a tall, slender obelisk. During the heat of the desert day, one starts up the wall and walks slowly toward the obelisk. Every step, every movement of every muscle, every stride must be measured, counted, and mentally recorded. Even wind velocity and direction must be factored in. And that's the task? Only half. When the walk is done, one waits for dark, and in the moonless black of Vulcan night, one returns to the fragment of wall. To do so requires a precisely accurate replay of everything the brain recorded earlier. Otherwise, the individual will wander aimlessly through the darkness. It is more than a mere physical trick. It requires total integration of the individual's mind, body, and spirit. Young Vulcans aspire to this task. Few have the opportunity, and when one makes the attempt, all our people are aware and await the results. If successful, the one who has accomplished this task wins the right to wear the symbol of Kolinar, a great achievement. So it's more than just a physical trick. Precisely. When done, one is in unity, at home in oneself. And you think I'm doing this, or something like it. Yes, an attempt at integration. Perhaps we both are.
Live long and prosper.